So waterfall or agile, which is which? We can select waterfall if everything is ready in terms of scope. The requirements have been identified from the beginning. Everything is ready, everything is clear from the beginning, and we can go through plan, collect the requirements, design, development, testing, then deploy, or design, analysis, architecture, structure design, tender, then issue for construction. Everything is clear from the beginning. We can go through waterfall. Waterfall is a plan driven, no changes. Outcome will be at end. Why no change? Because everything very clear from the beginning. All requirements identified. We sit many times with the client and the stakeholders, collect requirements in many ways by brainstorming, held the meetings, doing many tools and techniques. So we collect the requirements. Any change, especially for baselines, cost, scope, or schedule baseline, changes are not within the authority of the project manager. So these changes needs long process and approval from CCB, change control board. So this is the long process. Change is very limited, restricted, in very extreme condition we can make a changes. So we can select the waterfall only for the construction projects and any projects while the requirements are clear, the client exactly knows what he needs. Case of we have very clear scope and it is very easy, step by step, hand over another step. After we finish, say, planning stage, we're going for phase gate and going for construction stage. Each phase has many stages. Like this, say, this is a construction phase. If we have a software, so we're going for design, development, testing, and deploy. If we have design, architecture, or structure, or engineering design, we have requirements, then design analysis, modeling, tender stage, then issue for construction, requirements collected from the beginning, and we have very clear scope. Go further, by the end, give you bunch of drawings for your building, just hand over physical building, big outcome by the end. You couldn't expect anything in between, either small or big. Only at the final stage, you can expect big outcome at the end. Like if the client has a hotel project, he will specify from the beginning, I need 5 stars hotel with 500 rooms, 3 basement, ground floor, mezzanine, 21 stories. The color outside is brown or inside is white. Everything will be clear. You will be have 100 or 1,000 pages of specification. We are agreed together from the beginning, so the changes will be very hard. If your project like this, you should select the waterfall. If everything is clear, scope is very clear, and all the requirements in your hand from the beginning, the proper way is the waterfall. It is the best approach for your project. Going step by step, stage by stage. If the water goes down, it doesn't come up again. I think it's very clear. And you can expect your product at end. You couldn't expect anything in between stages. Changes allowed in extreme condition. Any changes related to cost baseline, scope baseline, or schedule baseline, there's no authority of a project manager. He should escalate this to CCB to take a decision. What about Agile? Agile is more easy than Agile is welcome to change, but not during sprint time. Let me to explain. Agile is spread to sprints. Each sprint is time boxed from 1 to 4 weeks. Sometimes people say 2 to 4 weeks, but I believe 1 to 4 because sometimes we have 1 week sprint. 1 to 4 weeks sprint. So this is a time boxed. We couldn't decrease the time. If we agree with 2 weeks, say 2 weeks sprint, we couldn't change this. So during the sprint, we couldn't change the time, we couldn't change the people, we couldn't change the requirements, we couldn't change anything. So no changes during the sprint. But before sprint or after sprint, product owner is responsible for the backlog, so he can change priorities, eliminate any user stories or increase user stories. The sprint is fixed in terms of time and resources. So no changes here, either the requirements or user stories, no changes during sprint. Sprint is time boxed. The sprint will start, you collect requirements, put your requirements here, design, develop, test, deploy. Then we can get cumulative outcome. Collect the requirements from client or product owner, because the product owner is the voice of the client. Once you get the feedback, you modify your design, add or remove the requirements, modify the requirements based on the feedback you have got from the previous sprint. Then make design, develop, test, deploy. Then once we get another cumulative, this modified one, getting feedback through review meeting from the stakeholders, client, product owner. So once we get the feedback, we modify our requirements, then modify our design, develop, test, deploy, and so on. So this is Agile. Agile based on the sprints, cycles, trial and errors. So we could expect working product, shippable product, each sprint. It might be not full features, but it's workable. This is workable. This is also workable. We can use it. By end of last sprint, this is our full featured product. Agile, it's fit with software projects or research projects. Say COVID-19 vaccine. Agile is very good approach. Any software or any programs you're working for related to software. So Agile is very good. You have a website, platform. Agile is the best. But the Waterfall is fit for construction or design or engineering. You can make hybrid. If you have a construction project, the construction project needs design and construction itself. We can use Agile in the design, and the construction we can use Waterfall. So we can make hybrid, Agile and Waterfall. If I'm going to brief Agile is the value driven, happy to change. Sprint time is time boxed, no changes during the sprint. Happy to change, but not during sprint. Cumulative outcome. Here in Waterfall, it is the plan driven. Here is value driven. No changes here. Here, happy to change. Here, big outcome at the end, but in Agile is cumulative outcome. The more important thing here in Agile is feedback, because once you release your cumulative outcome, you're getting the feedback from the client. Then you start the sprint number 2. After the sprint number 2, you get feedback from the client to modify. You start sprint number 3, till getting your outcome here ready, the final product, shippable product ready. Each one is workable, but this one is the full feature. Example, I need a car. In the first sprint, you give me scooter, it is working, but it's not full feature. Second sprint, you can give me bike. Third sprint, you can give me motorbike. Fourth sprint, you can give me a car. This is Agile. But here in Waterfall, you couldn't give me the first floor, then give me second floor, third floor, then the full height of the tower. It's not working like this. No confusion between Waterfall and Agile.
I was hungry. You gotta be hungry. I'm going to make it.
I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities.
In this slide, I brief what we said. Here Agile, here is Waterfall. In Agile, the sprint is fixed in terms of time and resources. Time 1 to 4 weeks. Resource might be 5 to 6 developers. The sprint, there is no changes. But welcome to change, happy to change before or after the sprint time. Features has been changed, requirements has been changed. This changed before and after the sprint. In Waterfall, there is no changes. The requirements has been fixed, scope fixed from the beginning, and resource and time it might be changed based on the change request and long process. If the CCB accept, we can change because it's outside of the project manager authority. This is a plan driven, this is a value driven. As we are Agile team, we aim to achieve value and customer satisfaction each sprint. Each sprint, we have good value. We have good shippable product, value product, working product. Even is not full feature, but it is working product. So these are value driven, and the feedback is very important and to consider the key success each sprint. Key success is the customer feedback or product owner feedback. You can expect shippable product each sprint here in Agile. In Waterfall, you can expect big product at the end, hold the project by end. In the Waterfall, we respect the plan, no changes because everything is clear from the beginning, and you can expect big outcome at end. This is the main difference between both Agile and Waterfall. Agile is an approach to manage a project, either software or not. Here in Agile, we always focus on building our product in increment basis during short time, which is the sprint. The sprint is short time period to getting the client feedback. We can apply Agile in many ways using Scrum, Kanban, XP, pair programming, and other frameworks and methodologies. However, we will focus only on Scrum and the Kanban. I will present Agile topics at a glance using this mind map before diving more